If you had a pre-existing health condition, this can impact your ability to purchase international health insurance that covers that pre-existing condition. And we're going to discuss it in this module. So, what is a pre-existing condition? A pre-existing condition is any illness, injury, symptom, or diagnosis that you had before your health insurance policy started, whether or not you sought treatment. Examples include diabetes, asthma, depression or anxiety, high blood pressure, cancer, pregnancy, chronic back pain, or autoimmune conditions. This is not an exhaustive exists. So insurers may look back 2 to 5 years, sometimes longer, into your medical history to see if you had this pre-existing condition and may deny you coverage for that pre-existing condition. So any care that you may require overseas for that pre-existing condition, you may have to pay out of pocket for that. Any other issues that you may have that even result in hospitalization, the policy is likely to cover. However, for that pre-existing condition, it may not. So, how do international insurers handle it? Well, typically exclusion. The condition will not be covered at all. No treatment, no medication, no care. So, you'll be required to pay out of pocket for that. Also, how international insurance handle it is that there'll be a waiting period. You may get coverage, but after 12 to 24 months without a reoccurrence or without relapse. There also may be a premium loading where you may pay a higher premium to get partial or full coverage for that condition. There may also be an all out refusal to insure. Some insurers simply won't cover applicants with serious or expensive conditions. So, key variables that affect the coverage, the type of condition. Like seasonal allergies may be covered, serious ones may be excluded. Stability, the conditions that are stable for 12 to 24 months are more likely to be accepted. Severity, chronic or life-threatening conditions often result in exclusion. Some global insurers are also more flexible than others, like Cigna, IMG, April X. What about failure to disclose? What happens if you do not disclose it? Insurance companies can deny claims, void your policy, or cancel coverage retroactively. So always disclose your full medical history, even if it affects pricing. Some insurers offer partial coverage after what's called a moratorium period. So a moratorium period is, especially in Europe and Asia, is a moratorium underwriting. So you do not have to declare your medical history upfront, but any condition that recurs during the first 2 years will not be covered. So if you do not experience symptoms or a relapse or seek treatment during the moratorium period, future coverage may be restored for that condition. So here's a glimpse of popular insurers and their policies regarding pre-existing conditions. So SafeWing, no coverage for pre-existing conditions except limited urgent care. Cigna Global will assess on a case-by-case basis, may cover, exclude, or increase premiums. So you just want to put an asterisk next to that and be mindful of that if you have a pre-existing condition. That Cigna may be an option for you. IMG offers plans with both full medical underwriting and exclusions. Alliance Worldwide may exclude or lower premiums depending on stability and severity. And April International offers a moratorium and full underwriting options. So here's some tips if you have pre-existing conditions. Be honest and detailed in your health declaration. Call insurers directly. Some are more flexible than their websites suggest. If stable, ask if you qualify after a waiting or moratorium period. Buy early. Get insured before showing new symptoms or seeing a doctor abroad. Consider insurers with global coverage and chronic condition management. Also, carry copies of medical records and prescriptions. Have a cure plan in place for conditions like asthma, anxiety, thyroid disorders, autoimmune conditions, etc. So I want to pay special attention to what if you have an autoimmune condition. Look into national health systems. Countries like France, Italy, Spain, Canada, and the UK do not exclude pre-existing conditions once you're enrolled as a resident. These may be better long-term situations and solutions than international insurance. Also, use international insurance for unrelated emergencies only. You may buy international health coverage that excludes your autoimmune condition, but still covers injuries, conditions, hospitalizations, and health emergencies. Also, ask for a written underwriting decision. If a provider like Cigna or IMG or Alliance, submit a medical questionnaire for a personalized quote and exclusion list. Also, supplement with local care or cash pay. In low cost countries like Mexico or Colombia, some expats pay out of pocket for autoimmune medications and specialists. So you may want to preload those to keep your condition stabilized. So many examples of low cost: Mexico, Thailand, Turkey, Colombia, Costa Rica. So, in summary, international health insurance providers absolutely factor in pre existing and autoimmune conditions when reviewing your application. These conditions typically excluded, but again, they do have some maneuvering if you let them know and if you speak to them. They can do some manual underwriting or write in a moratorium. So you want to make sure you have a backup plan. But again, they're only excluding you for the pre-existing condition, not for other incidental things that may arise. So, in summary, international health insurance providers absolutely factor in pre-existing and autoimmune conditions when reviewing your application. These conditions are usually excluded unless you speak to them in person and you're an exception. They're usually excluded. They have some wiggle room to reconsider if you have been in remission for a long period of time or if you request a moratorium. But just so you know, because you have this pre-existing condition, it can significantly limit your benefits. So it requires you to seek alternate solutions through either the public health system or having additional medication available in the event that there's a period of time where you're unable to see a physician and get a prescription. But most countries will allow you to seek care and won't deny you because of a pre-existing condition. International health insurance companies are more flexible with pre-existing conditions. These providers may not guarantee full coverage, but are more open to underwriting and loading premiums and applying moratorium clauses. So again, Cigna Global is flexible, can be underwritten manually. So yes, ask about medical history, may offer exclusions or premium loading. Flexible offers a case by case flexibility for stable conditions. And this is really good for expats, long term international residents, and families. Again, IMG is another group. IMG Global offers manual underwriting and moratorium plans, may accept minor pre existing conditions, or offer partial coverage. Chronic autoimmune diseases are usually excluded, but you may get a limited coverage if stable. Alliance Worldwide Care is another one, very comprehensive, offers often excludes pre-existing but offers full underwriting. Known to offer well-structured exclusions and occasionally limited coverage for stable conditions, good for corporate expats. And another one is AXA Global Healthcare uses full underwriting. Some autoimmune conditions in remission for 2+ years may get partial acceptance. And there's a few other ones that I'm going to include in slides. So, best strategy if you have a pre existing condition: one, choose a country with a national system that accepts pre existing conditions like France, Spain, Italy, Portugal. That makes it pretty easy to enroll once you become a resident. Use international health insurance only to bridge coverage for unrelated emergency. Get quotes from competitors from Cigna, April, IMG with full medical disclosures. For those with autoimmune conditions in remission, ask for a moratorium coverage options for 2 years plus with symptoms free. Also consider local private insurance in countries with affordable systems, as I mentioned: Mexico, Thailand, Turkey, Costa Rica, Colombia.